everyone, this is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald, bringing you a reading here for February 28th, 2022. As always, before we get started, I just want to let you know that my go-to deck is the traditional Rider-Waite deck. That's the deck that I used for the reading today, and I have pulled the Queen of Wands. Okay, now I want you all to know that despite the energy appearing to be a bit chaotic and disorganized out there, because there's a lot of stuff going on out there, there's a wonderful abundant energy that is available to us at this time, and that's exactly what is reflected here with this Queen of Wands. There's a beautiful energy coming in with this creativity that is available to us. So it's about tapping into that and then channeling that into creating something new for yourself and allowing this abundance to flow into you. Now, this is abundance of money, abundance of joy, abundance, of peace, right? Whatever that looks like for you, or whatever that you're trying to call in, I feel that there's an amazing amount of energy available to create that and to support you in creating that, okay? So I feel like here you could even be surprised. So there could be news coming in for you, and you could be completely surprised and delighted at how the universe is showing up for you. Or you could even surprise yourself at how well you're calling in this energy and working with it, and some of the things that you are creating, co-creating with the universe. You could be surprising yourself at how well you're able to do some of the things that you thought that you couldn't do, right? Maybe you're trying new things and you're really delighted in the fact that you're working it so well. And so this victory here, there is definitely victory here. It's yours. The victory is yours. And so I feel with this, to the victor goes the spoils. So not only are you going to meet your objective, I feel like you're going to exceed your expectations. I do feel like there could be a lot of benefits coming in for you. Things that you couldn't even fathom could be coming in for you. So I feel like despite the fact that there are turbulent energies, right? There are things out there, forces that are unseen out there, maybe possibly trying to control a situation. Perhaps there's energies being projected onto you, such as fear or worry, or perhaps you have your own fears or worries about how am I going to make this happen, or how am I going to come up with money for this, right? Things like that are happening, right? It just leaves this unsettling feeling, and overall this unrest comes in, and it creates this conflict. It's conflicting energies, right? And so you might be a little bit reluctant to make moves, right? To, do what you have to do. You might feel like you are unable to take that step forward, unable to, do what you have to do. Take that step though, okay? This is really what the energy is here for. It's really testing you. It's supporting you. It's kind of calling you into question, like, is this what you want? Are you going to put this as a priority in your life? Is this what you are going to create for yourself? Are you going to claim this for yourself? Or, are you going to sit in a space where you're kind of questioning maybe, is it worth it, right? Because we do have a lot of that energy coming in with everything that's going on. Now, if you have had, those thoughts coming in and you're questioning, can I do this? Is this worth it? All of these things happening, that is totally okay, right? But I think that that's a space where we have to take a step back and we have to look at it from a different perspective, right? We have to challenge those thoughts. Are they just thoughts coming in to challenge them? Are they our own beliefs in terms of our self-worth, our self-esteem? Are they true, right? You have to kind of challenge that. Or is it, I need to question this because I'm not sure that this is the right path for me. And that's okay too. Maybe it's calling for you to take a whole new path at this time, because that's quite possible, right? You could be taking a whole new direction at this time. But I do feel like there's a difference here in perspective, right? Where we could be standing frozen in fear, or we can be on the opposite end of the spectrum and say, okay, look, I see everything that's happening, and it's time to take some action on this, right? I want to be delighted in life, right? And I want to take all of these opportunities. I want to see what life has to offer, right? I don't want to wait any longer, right? Where you could feel compelled to take these steps no matter what. Almost to like a fault where you have some sort of a reckless abandon to it, right? So there's like total opposite ends of the spectrum. Or maybe you find yourself right in the middle, smack dab in the middle, a little bit of both. But I do see a potential of almost, complete opposite ends of the spectrum for different people. And I do feel, that this is a fear that comes up. It's almost like where it's like if you don't get your way about something, right? Where this childish type energy comes in, right? It's kind of like this annoying feeling, like, man, I didn't get that done, or I couldn't get that the way that I wanted to, so now I don't want to do it at all, right? So I feel like that could be some of that, right? That's coming up, that's surfacing. And when I say that fear, that could be like a broad range. It could be manifesting in a lot of different ways. It could actually be a little bit of anxiety. It could actually be you could feel petrified of something, right? You could feel just overall, questioning, am I, your abilities, your abilities to do it. Questioning, am I able to do this, and, would people see my worth? Or maybe you're questioning, do I deserve this, right? That could be like a self-esteem type of thing. But I think overall, I feel like this is almost like coming out in a very, like your inner child maybe expressing itself in like, I didn't get this and I'm gonna cross my arms and just be angry, right? So understand that drastic times call for drastic measures. Maybe you feel like you're going to take this action now because you're left with no choice, right? Maybe this path that you've been on is completely unfulfilling. You feel like you have hit a dead end and it's no longer able to stay in your life because you are just so not resonating with it anymore. It just has to go, right? And so it's time to fall away, or it has already started to fall away. Maybe it did fall away. And so now you have no choice but to take this action, move forward, take steps toward building something new. And so I do feel like with this, there's this understanding that you have to come to within yourself in order to move forward. And this is with this, I get this, it's a quote, I think it's from Tale of Two Cities, and so it's, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. So maybe you will be reconciling things from the past, and understanding where you've come, how far you've come, what lessons you've gotten from the past, what you want to take with you from the past and carry that with you forward, what was good, or who maybe you want to take with you into the future, who are good supports for you, that kind of thing. So understanding too within yourself that there is this complete duality, right? And there's a need to kind of conquer this. So when I talk about duality, we have light and dark. We all have this light side of us and a dark side, right? And I don't mean like we're, we have a tendency to want bad things to happen. I don't mean that by dark, but what I mean is like we have our shadow self, right? Where we get triggered maybe by something, and so overcoming those triggers and healing those old wounds, right? And so we have the things that are positive attributes, and then we have things that we have to overcome. And so that's where this duality comes in. And so we always have to kind of take that good with the bad, blend it in, conquer our fears, conquer our triggers, right? Things like that. Integrate your shadow self with your light, right? Pull that stuff up out of the darkness, bring it out into the light so you can sit with it. You can become one with it. You can integrate that. And so you move forward and you're much lighter, right? And you understand yourself. You're not so easily triggered maybe in the future. And so I feel like, moving forward, it's conquering your shadow self, blending the light and the dark, not only within ourselves, but on the external as well, right? Because there's a lot of stuff happening externally as well. So meeting that with understanding as you're moving forward too. Understand that you are protected by the divine, okay? That is a unique perspective that is being offered to you at this time. You are divinely protected now, if this is your belief, right? Now, I don't want you to say, oh, I'm divinely protected, so I'm gonna go, do something really, really crazy, right? But I think that it's really important that you acknowledge that there are calculated risks in life, and there are things that you will do, and you will make mistakes, and that is okay. We learn from our mistakes. Be willing to make mistakes, because that's how sometimes progress is made, right? And so when you move forward, walk with confidence in knowing that Spirit has your back, right? And so when you do make a mistake, it's not going to be such a big deal. You're not going to be like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. It's going to be, okay, let me take a step back, go back to the drawing board. Let's figure this out. Let's do some problem solving. How can I overcome this? It's not going to be so overwhelming, right? And you can set your intentions around that. You can ask your angels to help you with that. And moving forward, things won't be so difficult. And so, I feel like it's important. The belief is really important for me to kind of put out there. You have to believe it. You cannot just say it. You cannot just take that for granted. You have to, be firm in that. And then also be your own advocate in terms of taking action when you feel guided, right? So, I feel like there's going to be driving forces throughout this whole process. So, I feel like if you're feeling called to do something, by all means, do that. And it's not going to look, like a perfect scenario probably initially, but I feel like, and probably even you might be judged by others. I do feel that, okay? You could face, for some out there, that you could face adversity for what you're feeling called to do, for what you're feeling guided to do. And so you start taking these action steps, and you might feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. There's so many people maybe talking smack even, and telling you it's not worth it, don't do it, why are you doing that, that's so silly, it doesn't even make sense, right? Keep going. That is your advice here, okay? And that is because what vision you have in your heart, that's your vision, right? That's your calling to follow. That is nobody else's. That's your mission, okay? And I'm getting chills with that. So I feel like that's really important, okay? For you to follow that. That's, nobody else can make that decision for you. And I feel like, honestly, in the end, these people that are kind of talking to you in your ear, like, saying this isn't the way, you shouldn't do that, they are going to kind of see that in the end. And it might take a while too, by the way. So you're going to have to just keep going and keep your own spirits up. And, in the end, they're going to see that, like, whoa, they were right. Like, and they're doing really well, But in the meantime, building that and getting to that space, it does take time. It's not easy. And so you have to be your own cheerleader. And you have to focus on, how do I want to feel? And feel your way into the space of, you know, believing the best outcome for yourself, and feel your way into, you know, a place of feeling really awesome about that. And, you know, sure, there will be days probably when you're not as passionate about that, but you have to kind of remember, when you get to a space where you're doing something that you don't want to do, okay, I want to do this. This is my goal, okay? Don't look at the little details that get you there. Look at the bigger picture. Focus on the bigger picture. Focus on what that feels like, what that energy feels like, what that abundance feels like, because that's going to move you, move mountains, okay? And so that's what I mean by the driving forces. So what drives you, right? You have to really kind of ask yourself, what is it that drives you? Is it your feeling of peace? Is it because you don't want to be in a space where you are not valued? What are these things that are keeping you motivated to keep working towards your goals or moving toward a different path? These are things, maybe it's creativity, right? Some people really like to tap into creative energy, and it energizes them and it moves them in a new direction, and that's a beautiful thing as well. I think right now it's important to mention that this is a time to be establishing roots. Okay, so what I mean by that is establishing routines, taking a look at your routines, making sure your routines are healthy. Are they healthy? Asking yourself that. Do they support your goals? And I do feel like this is important to be looking at in terms of, can you function with these routines as well? Being realistic with your expectations for yourself, not putting, you know, putting yourself into a category where you're biting off more than you can chew, right? But I think to establish a long-term success, you know, we're not looking at little things. We're not looking at like what's happening 3 months from now. We're looking at day to day, what are you doing to get yourself into a space where, say, 6 months, a year from now, you are sitting in a space where you look back and you're like, wow, I really made some progress and I'm really proud of myself. So thinking about those type of things, thinking about your supports, right? That's establishing roots. Who are you taking with you onto this path? Who's going to be by your side? What tasks are you assigning to them? What responsibilities do they have as they come with you, right? What are their, you know, abilities, right? What are their positive attributes? What are they bringing to the table? How do they complement you? And how do you complement them in terms of being a positive dynamic moving forward? And how can they assist you, maybe even in times of struggle when you're trying to reach this goal? Really, this is about setting yourself up for success. Understanding too that it is okay to stand out. It's okay to stand out. And like I said, whatever you're feeling compelled to do, whatever you're feeling guided to do, even if others might not agree, even if others might not see the value in what you are trying to achieve, if they support you, if they believe in you, those are your people, right? If they are seeing your vision, even just a little bit, right? Those are some people that could potentially come with you on your path as you're establishing your roots, right? Now, I feel like it's important to, you know, pay attention to the signs that are around you. I feel like you're going to be shown as you're guided, you know, along the way. I feel like whatever signs are showing up for you, maybe it will be a literal sign. Maybe pay attention to when you're seeing like angel numbers, like repeating pattern numbers, 333, 111, things like that. Pay attention to what you're thinking about when you see those numbers. Maybe jot them down, so you start to see what is correlating and what's surfacing throughout that. But overall, for self-care here, you know, this is just reflected. I pulled a couple of self-care cards. We have listening. So listen to your wise self. Let your inner compass direct the course of your life. So where do you feel, where do you feel good? Maybe who do you feel good around? Where is it that things feel off, where you just feel like, I'm not sure that that's for me? And where is it that you are feeling like, yes, that feels so good, that feels soothing to me and to my soul? And if it's not feeling good, start paying attention to those things and start limiting your time doing those things, and start spending more time doing the things that soothe your soul, or feel right, okay? And then we have creativity, of course, and that's express your creativity, delight in the mystery of your inner muse. Now, this is expression all the way around, whether you are expressing yourself in a podcast, whether you're expressing yourself in a journal, whether you are expressing yourself by painting, whether you are doing any type of creative outlet type energy, right? Whether you are, coloring and inviting more color into your life, things to that nature, anything that will bring you joy, okay? That will help to attract more of that energy, and I feel like you would bring more ideas. I feel like this is a time that there's going to be a lot of ideas floating around, right? I feel you'll find more and more ideas coming to you. So I feel like even creativity, I feel like you could be just go to the store, right? Say you like to decorate, something like that. Go to the store and walk around, say like Hobby Lobby or something, and just look at all of the different things that they have there and see how many things you can like put together. Like, oh, this would look really good with this, or like, things like that. So I feel like it will all start to flow a lot better as you allow yourself time and space to do that. Now, you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything crazy as you go to a Hobby Lobby or something like that, Michael's, like arts and crafts store, right? You can look at all of these things. Look at the decorations. Look at the arts and crafts supplies and just, oh, look at all that. We could do this with that. We could do, and just let the ideas start flowing to you. And I feel, you might come up with some really awesome ideas moving forward, not only to keep your mind occupied and busy. I feel like as you do that, you might get those aha moments more so too, where your intuition just pops in and you just feel like that's what I need to do. And it might not have anything to do with arts or crafts or anything like that, but you doing that, and then boom, you say, I know I'm not supposed to be at that place, I'm supposed to go do this, right? And so this is just a beautiful space for you to just be and allow your higher self to come in and provide those insights for you as you move through that energy. So beautiful reading here we have for February. I do so hope that this resonates for you, February 28th. So I will be working on some March zodiac readings over the next couple of days, and I will get them out and posted. And I hope you've all had a phenomenal month. I know this went by so quick, and I was on vacation this last week, so I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed and zen and grounded, so that's awesome. And if you're looking for a reading or anything like that, I have appointments available. I am booking for March, and you can hit me up at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Facebook in the Messenger, or right here on YouTube in the description box below at the Square site to book your session. I've had some beautiful sessions this month, and I thank you all for supporting me. And as always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.